So on max lift, we're about half a road space below that. Guesstimating something like there, we'll be pretty close on this one. Might have done that wrong. I know these are going to start to get crazy difficult. So if I'm understanding this correctly, the car needs to circle around the plane. Alternative idea. Since it gave me so much room over here anyways, I could probably eventually make the car drive right on up there. Gonna need some support, but it's gonna work. With a few extra pieces of steel, it should be a little bit closer. I'm not wrong, it is closer. A couple more random pieces of steel later and we're actually getting really close. The answer may be in the springs. Because there's this little bit of space under all my supports, the whole thing drops ever so slightly on the start of the level, which makes everything collapse. But if I can make these springs expand just a little bit, they'll hopefully eat up some of that gap and hopefully not pull the road tight. And oh, we're getting close. One very slight adjustment later and it makes it. The whole bridge still kind of collapses, but we make it. Look at everyone else doing it the proper way. Also, my theory was correct. If I can just put springs here to make up that little bit of drop, it holds together really nicely. And that's that, level complete. Big Dipper, I've got to get a very heavy loader down to here and up to here. It's going to be an arch level because this thing weighs 11 PGs. I don't know what that is, but it's a lot of them. Again, I think I see a way I can use springs to my advantage here. Because normally I like to brace things against either side. Those springs are going to help push everything to the outside, holding the middle up. Trial run number 1, see a bit of a problem here, but so far that's actually holding up somehow. Probably going to need to adjust a spring. But I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Simply added one piece of wood right here. Let's see how this goes in 2 times speed because I don't have time to wait for this thing. Not quite there yet. I've compressed both my springs 100%. That is going to be uneven after looking at it, but you know what? Let's see what happens. Well, this part of the bridge is very strong. I did good on that part. What about a slightly different design, maybe with a little bit less springs? That should put more support into the middle, but the middle is going to be kind of a problem. Or maybe it's not. I was just gonna maybe change things till the point I needed to add springs again, but that works. 46 out of 60,000. Compression, another one of these levels. Truck number 1 simply needs to go across. Truck number 2 needs to squeeze down and grab the stars slightly before continuing along. Probably going to need to use reinforced road for this, but we'll find out. For starters, let's see if this holds the little car up. Nope. Slightly bigger triangles in the middle do, however, hold it up. What do you suppose this is going to do? Is it going to make it stretch upwards? Is it going to make it stretch downwards? I'm not really sure what to expect. It just breaks the bridge apart. And if I try it without the cables, it all falls apart anyways. Wait, do they both need to collect the star? They do. This level suddenly is a lot more complicated than it seemed. So I'm really hoping that laziness triumphs again. Please hold up. Please touch the stars. Is everything going to fit? Oh, that actually works really nice. And under budget. I was really worried I was going to have to get creative with that level. I'm not in the mood for creativity. Doubling down for $37,500. Old car, hydraulic, boat, hydraulic, taxi. I think this one is actually going to be pretty straightforward. So let's give it a test run and see what's even going to happen, because I'm not really sure what order the hydraulics are supposed to go in. Car seems to go across, no problem. Grabs the star, makes its way across. Hydraulic should open for the boat at this point. And it can't really climb the slope. That's going to be trouble. So let's try that again with a bit of a nicer slope on the other side. Still going to be a little bit steep right here, but I think it'll just make it over that. It's losing speed quickly, and yeah, I think once its front tire is over, it's going to be okay. Now it's just a matter of the hydraulics working properly, which when it comes to me is always a big if. Alright, looks like things are going to cruise right on past. Again, I thought this level would be much more difficult, but that wasn't so bad at all. Done. Semi-slope. I gotta put the very heavy tanker truck all the way to the top. It does seem to go in a perfectly straight line, so I think that's probably gonna be our answer. Attempt number 1. The bridge holds itself up, which is a pretty good start considering it's me. However, once that thing gets into the middle, I'm not really sure what it's gonna do. It's gonna collapse. Added just a little bit of steel to the middle, that might help hold it up. Well, it's gonna help hold it up, but is it gonna do enough? That's always $1 million question. And this might actually be it. Nope, still need a little work up there at the top. I don't know, I just added some more of the red triangles. Those should be more than enough to hold this thing up. Right here is a bit of a, nope, we're good. Not nearly as bad as I thought. Rock skipping, does that mean I'm gonna have to jump something again? It sure looks that way. Alright, where does this thing land? Just about the front one, but it actually touches down there. So something like this might actually get it going again, because it's gonna crash here and then restart. As long as I can climb up onto my bridge. Never mind, it's not allowed to go under the water. Gonna add a bit of a spring to the equation right there, and I should have put that the other way, but that still might bounce. Well, got it a little bit further. Let's try that with a better spring. Not really any different. I should probably also make a jump over here. Let's see where this lands it. Yeah, that goes way further. I can put a bridge here now. Pretty simple what I got so far. Does it hit the bridge? Not quite there yet. What about something just a little bit crazier like that? That's not really gonna work at all, I think. Let's see what happens. Nope, it just breaks my bridge really bad. Playing with the idea of adding a second spring underneath to help absorb some of that shock, but it's still just breaking the bridge. Kind of a fun idea though. I have got it to the point where it will survive that impact, but then I've only got so much road left to work with. I'm gonna try something like this real quick, just kind of to see what happens. This might work. It also might not. Bounce, and it goes up. It broke the bridge, but it does make it. I just got to make sure it doesn't break there anymore. Bigger triangles it is. I still have $5,000. I can change it to steel if I need to, or even make this spring better. The absorption here isn't really great. Nope, that's enough to work, and that's good enough for me. Support cable for a big bus that weighs 14 PGs. So the bus is supposed to go across this gap, and I'm supposed to do that with cables. I presume in something of an arch. Not really the prettiest bridge I've ever built, but let's see how it holds up. Gonna need a few extra cables on this one. Even the steel cables don't hold this thing up. I think we need more arch. Okay, so does my bigger arch at least hold itself up? That's a better start. That angle of the bus, not gonna love that, but we're a lot closer than we were last time. 2 cables later, we're at $32,000 budget, and the cables are actually really strong. The rest of the bridge is not. I just feel like it's going to be one of these levels where I'm making very small adjustments for hours until something finally works for no reason at all. Or I could put the cables directly into the middle, which seems to evenly distribute all the force and makes this actually a functioning bridge. That was surprising. I'm way over budget though. So we're going to start whittling this down. I'm already down to only $200 over budget. It's just a matter of whether the bridge is still going to hold up. It doesn't. Gonna shrink down some of the triangles, and we're already halfway to where we need to be budget-wise, but does the bridge hold up? We're good there, just gonna keep shrinking it down. If this works, we've done it under budget. And we've done it! Moving on. Crossed paths. Some of my other least favorite levels. But don't worry, I already have a plan and I'm kind of excited about it. And basically that plan is going to look something like this. Hydraulics gonna go first thing. I just need to see where this lands. Alright, I was way out on my estimate, but as long as I can connect something to there and have my bridge hold up, we'll be okay. So on max lift, we're about half a road space below that. Guesstimating something like there, we'll be pretty close on this one. Might have done that wrong. Alright, I was pretty close. Will the taxi make it up? Oh yeah, it breaks the bridge. That's our next problem. Which leads me to realize the next problem. I need to make this end of the bridge go up too. Found a solution for the taxi breaking the bridge. Raised steel beams right across the top, because those are taking most of the stress. Now it's this one, but look at that. The taxi gets to where it's going. Now I just gotta figure out how to make that one work. And it breaks the bridge all by itself. Anyways, this might somehow be a little bit stronger. Oh yeah, I gotta adjust the hydraulics, otherwise that's not gonna work at all. For real this time, we already broke something there, which doesn't seem to be an issue, but it is an issue there. Also didn't really realize until right now that I could be using rope. Rope might help me a lot in a level like this. Because if you're pulling super hard from one side, you're gonna pull the bridge out of place. Thinking I probably need a pretty major redesign. This probably looks a little bit confusing, and that's because it is, but let's kind of see how this works. It's not so great. Getting closer to the answer, still a little ways out because the bridge is breaking, but you can see what I'm getting at. I'm going to be honest with you guys, this was basically completely by accident. I'm not quite there yet, but watch what happens. The taxi makes its way up. The bridge, by the way, is completely floating in space right here, basically tethered by a rope. It alternates just about enough. It lets the truck on. Things let go at this point, but that was really close considering I'm just screwing around. Alright, the solution from there was simple. Do it on slow motion, watch where the stress is, replace the stressed wood with steel. All I needed was one piece of steel and this works. $31,000 out of $42,000 budget. Wibbly wobbly, you could describe any of my bridges with that. Oh good, so we have 9 sections of road to get A across the stars and B down to those. So this is pretty much going to be a completely floating bridge. I've only spent $30,000 of my budget so far, but let's kind of see what happens. The moped is not happy. Alright, I think I'm starting to get the hang of this one. Like, I made it so I can get the moped across. It does that fairly easily, but that's not exactly the hard part. Getting this massive dump truck is going to be the hard part. It doesn't touch that star, it doesn't touch that star, but it makes it across, so that's something. This so far is the closest I've gotten, because the moped goes across like it always does because it's a moped. The dump truck comes across, doesn't break the bridge, does break one spring, makes it to where it's going, but doesn't grab the star on the way. I kind of zoned out, but that actually worked. I was over on the stress, but it worked. Let me show you what transpired, because it turns out this level was really hard to do. Moped's going across, this was my design, lowered everything down just a little bit. Moped makes it all the way across. Dump truck still has a bit of a struggle, but it makes it to where it's going, and that's a win for me. Somehow it climbs up on there, and I'm not going to complain. I'll take shafted for 25,000, simple wood and road. What are the odds something as simple as this is going to work? Not super good. That means it's probably going to be another arch level. This looks terrible, and I assume it's going to perform terribly. It holds itself up, but I'm pretty sure a heavy fire truck is not going to be enjoyable. Probably should do an arch this way. I mean, there's a chance this is going to work. Already we can see where all the stress is. Made it further than it did last time. That's a little bit more of an even distribution though. Gonna need some adjustments, but we're already that much closer. It's not as red as it was before, but it still kind of falls apart. Did this somehow fix the problem? It's actually looking a lot better there. We're a lot closer than we were. Working my way closer, trying to build a little bit on top now because the fire truck is getting further than ever before, if you see what I'm getting at. I'm basically chasing the stress spots across the bridge, though I shouldn't have removed the one over here. Now I'm kind of wondering if a bigger, better arch might just hold everything together better by itself. It at least looks a little better. And it's actually holding itself up stress-free pretty good so far. That's going to be a bit of a problem though, because this idiot can't get onto my stupid bridge. Oh, it's kind of moving actually. It might actually make it. That's okay, fire truck. I've got all day. The wheel is almost on the ground. Oh, it made it on. It might actually do this. Very slowly. Whoever's house is on fire is having a bad day, but my day's pretty good. Wow, that actually worked. And $6,000 under budget. That might be my proudest bridge yet. Cross jump. These are hard. So let's figure out what it is we're working with. Okay, they both almost make it to the middle. How useful. One at a time, let's figure out where we're going to send each one of these. So that one makes it kind of to the middle, not super nicely, but it gets there. I kind of wanted to get there with more speed though. That's a little better. All right, attempt number 2 to see if it can make it to the other side. Nope, that's not going to work. A little adjustment on the first ramp to hopefully carry the speed through more. And where are we going with this one? Okay, so far so good. Yep, truck number 1 gets to where it's going. Truck number 2 hopefully lands smoothly on the bottom. Close enough for me. Here we go. This might actually work, but this is my first time trying it like this. Oh, and it breaks everything. Close though. One more try. Added a little bit of rope and road over here for monster truck number 2, and it smashes through every ramp imaginable. Something new to try. Adding a spring-loaded road down here so this guy carries his speed better. That's gonna work way better. Added just a little bit of rope for more support here because I'm pretty sure that's almost all that truck needs. Everything made it to where they're going, but the ramp collapses. When in doubt, just add more steel. Dump truck going down and up, and it still breaks. Well, we'll add a rope to the steel. And if that does give it a little more rigidity, that means the truck's gonna fly that much further. Perfect. Emergency interference. Both of these are really heavy, and both I would enjoy watching crash into the ocean. Pretty sure either of these carry enough speed to make that gap. Getting all that weight over there though is gonna be pretty hard. This bridge probably isn't gonna work considering I didn't notice that star until right now, but also I don't think I'm able to support this much span with just these 2 connection points. Plus we only have enough road to go directly across, so this one is gonna be a challenge. This is actually a little bit hard for me to believe, but so far this seems to be working. I don't know if it gets all the way across because I stopped it about here, but the fire truck crosses whatever this monstrosity is. Hydraulics might not be out of the way of the boat, and hopefully the ambulance is lighter than the fire truck, otherwise we might have a little problem, but let's see where it gets to. I thought for sure this level was going to be a nightmare just given how big the gap was. Ambulance, please make it. Cool, we did that $12,000 under budget. I'm going to quit while I'm ahead.